It's a great day in Iowa today. It's March 24th.
Sure.
Yeah, I think so. It's Tuesday anyway. We're out for a nice walk. It's cloudy, but it's like 35 degrees. That's nice. I know my husband still wears a hat, but he wears a hat when it's 50 degrees. So that's all right. I wanted to tell you a little bit about my background, I guess, and how this hip replacements and knee replacements happened to me. It's not a cut and dry story, but the first time I had a first knee surgery was when I was 16, and I got my ACL replaced. At that first surgery, my surgeon told me that I would need to get my knees replaced someday. And I didn't really think about it too much. I was 16 and just wanted to get back to athletics. And so, I'm like, maybe my 50s. My grandmother had problems. She was in a wheelchair from rheumatoid arthritis. And I knew I didn't have that, so I wasn't really worried about it. Then in my, late 20s?
No, way earlier than that.
Way earlier than that, in my 20s.
Early 20s.
Yeah, I started having some, with the arthroscopics. Yep, I started having some problems where it just, my knee would lock up here and there. Just a little cleanup surgery with orthoscopic, pretty much took care of that. But, I always kind of knew that I had bad knees. Oh, I skipped a surgery. That was the second ACL repair because I fell off my bed and loosened my first ACL. So that was my surgeon's only redo, which I'm not proud about. But anyway, so my 20s, I would get these little arthroscopic surgeries to clean up any cartilage because it would just wear away. Still, again, recovered great, and nothing really of that. I didn't think, these are 1 week. I was out for a week and then I'd be back walking slowly again and no big deal. So I guess I figured I could do that forever, but once you don't have cartilage in your knees, that's kind of gone, that option. But okay, so when I was in my late 20s, we were pretty active walkers. We would disc golf like every day, and some of those courses are really hilly, super hilly. So, and long. And we both got really good at the sport. I got pretty good, especially for a female. I was thinking about going pro. So, but I just couldn't do the walking anymore. For some reason, I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I did have some pain in my knees, but man, I was just really struggling. So, I'd go back and forth to my doctor, and my mobility would get more limited as time went on. So, then I'd go out to the disc golf course with crutches. I'm like, if I can't walk, I'll use crutches. And that only lasted for a little while. And then I had to start using crutches on long walks. And then it became to daily. And then I needed a wheelchair for long things. And that became a problem. And then I was pretty much in the wheelchair except for at home where I could only take a few steps at a time. So I was really struggling. My surgeon, they tell you when you're young, you can't have replacements because the replacements wear out. And so I kind of thought I was stuck. I didn't know what to do, but I did talk to my surgeon, and thankfully when I was 32, is that right? 32, I had my first knee replacement surgery, and that was in November. I had my right one first. I had my right done first because I wanted to get that over with and drive. And he said I recovered better than 90% of the people. So I was really stoked. I was feeling pretty good. I had him scheduled a week apart, but I chickened out in the hospital, and he said, no, just delay it. No big deal. I don't have to come back in the next week. So I went back for my checkups and everything, and I said, my replacement, my other knee is still bothering me, so let's get this done. I don't want it dragging me down. So we did the other one, and that didn't recover as well. I know I had problems with that, especially with strengthening, bending. I had problems with that, but I had a whole different therapy schedule I was at a different hospital, and so. Hi, how are you?
You're okay, Tuffy.
So, I think that was why it was really different. You can hear Layla in there too, can't you? And Roscoe. So, but after a year, everything
Come on.
kind of came back to normal. I know my husband really had to encourage me in that time because I kept saying to him, when will I be good? When will I be good? And he's like, just wait a year, just wait a year. We had some other life changes too, where he moved jobs, and so I took care of myself just for a little bit because he really takes care of me. So
What?
he really take care of me. So yeah, just things were different on the second surgery. But after a year, he was right. They were right. Whoever says it, it's true. Your knees are kind of better. And I thought, that's it. My life is set. I just have to do this knee replacement. I'm good. Well, shortly after that, I had a child, and the doctor was like, oh, that's great. Just don't carry him around. Well, I couldn't do that because, just the least weight you can have on your replacements, the better. I don't know who that is. Up it's there.
Yeah, look at that.
I did.
No, like, tighten it down a little
It's
bit.
because of my case. It is. I'll hold it like this. Okay. But for the,
Oh, you gotta take the cover off.
yeah, I don't want to do that.
Because then it'll actually hold it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to do that. I'm lazy. So where was I?
Child.
Oh yeah, I had a child. Well, we knew we always wanted to have more than, there, got one child. So had another one 3 years later. Everything's fine, everything's good. Knee replacements, no problem there. So fast forward a little bit to,
Well, you're skipping a whole lot.
I can tell.
Skip-
You tell me fill me in.
You skipped the whole part where you're in a wheelchair for years.
Yeah, I was in a wheelchair for a couple of years because they wouldn't do the surgery. So
No, not because of that. Like the whole time between Emmett's birth and Owen's birth, you were,
struggling again.
that was probably the worst time.
Oh yeah, I did have I don't know if it was like an illness. You're right. I did have some issues with fatigue and pain, and so yeah, I was in a wheelchair after that too, and it wasn't specific to my knees, but we couldn't really figure out what was wrong. I think
Well, I think it was a pain syndrome.
yeah, it was kind of in a pain loop, being cut open a lot, and I'd had 9 knee surgeries, and a couple other ones, but I think I got stuck in a pain loop. I think that was what was going on. Should we go this way? We'll go that one.
Sure.
You got a bug on you, wow. And yeah, that's true. There's a lot there. But
That's for another discussion.
yeah, we can do that. That was a big chunk of life. Other discussion there. So fast forward to the hips. My hips, I think I first had problems. I was just telling Austin, I could first tell something was wrong when we were intimate. I didn't really know, but the pain kept getting worse and worse. Sitting on the toilet was another thing. At first I thought it was my, I keep forgetting that muscle right there.
Open it up and really tighten it down. It's not gonna crack it. So it should be tight on it here.
It's because of the case.
No, tighten it down.
I am, but at the bottom.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's because of your thing on the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a problem then. You'll drop it one of these times. Don't
do that.
go.
I was holding it with my thumb.
Go left.
Yeah. that muscle?
Groin?
No, I don't know. Have to look it up. I'll post it here. Put it in words anyway. I thought it was my hip flexor. Hip flexor. I thought it was pretty much for sure, so I tried to look up exercises to do for hip flexor. Because I didn't really know what was going on. So my mom had her hip replaced, I think in 2018. And so I was like, yeah, that's good. She's in her 70s, so it seems to be something we have in the family, because my grandmother had, rheumatoid arthritis. I've been tested several times and don't have it. They concluded that the knees were osteoarthritis, but same thing from my mom about her hips. She kind of had hip pain for like at least 2 years. She was talking about it, and so she had her hip done in West Des Moines, and she had a fantastic recovery. I was so proud of her. And so I kind of tried to ignore my hips, but I was having pain again. So finally I went to a pain doctor, and he kept saying, your hips are shot. And I'm like, come on, I'm only like in my 40s. So, we did x-ray. Yep, hips are bad, but nobody's going to replace them. So struggled with that a bit. Took opioid pain medication even because the pain was bad. So we had to visit like 4 doctors, I think, for opinions, and even the surgeon that did my knees visited him. He wasn't interested in referring me to his colleague who specializes in hips. So I went to the network where my mom got her hips replaced, and they were like, yeah, no problem, we'll replace them. Yeah, we do them in younger patients too, no big deal. So I went there and got my hip replaced, the first one November 27th of 2019. Well, the day before Thanksgiving, and then the next one was my right one on December 29th, 2019. And so one was when I was 43, one was when I was 44, so I had a birthday in there, but that's how old I was. But this is to say I was struggling for years and really didn't know what to do, but the hip replacement has been excellent for me. It's changed my life because I couldn't walk anymore. I couldn't really do anything anymore, but I didn't use as many walking aids as people with knee issues. I can talk about that in another video, but it's just different. So right now I'm very thankful. I'm 3 or 4 months out and doing really well. We've been walking all over town right now talking to you, so all right, more in another video.